In this video, I want to share with you 4 areas you should focus on to better manage your finances right after a layoff. And I'm going to do this right after that. Hey everyone, Steve here, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, congrats, you just stumbled into the best accidental click of your day. Today, I'm going to speak to you about 4 areas that I think everyone should consider when they try to better organize their finances after a layoff. Let's start. Number 1, employer negotiations. You may be gone, effective immediately, or you may be placed on a garden leave, given, an end of employment day. Make sure you understand what severance or redundancy package you are entitled to based on the length of your service in the company. If you're not sure, do not accept or sign anything right away. It is better to seek assistance, ask an expert, maybe a labor state office, and an employment agency or a lawyer. If you have been laid off after a short amount of time, the severance may be non-existent. Make an effort to negotiate. I have been told by people I talk to on a daily basis that they were able to get a better deal as they were only 6 months on the job when the layoff happened. Bonus. Employers may try to avoid this obligation, especially if the layoff is happening mid-year. They may claim that since you did not complete a full year of performance evaluation, you are not entitled to your annual bonus. Ask your employer to take a snapshot of your to-date target results if you're on the right track, or if you think you're on the right track. Ask to be paid on a pro rata basis. It has worked in the past, it has worked for me, and it has worked for other people I've talked to. Health benefits. Find out how long the health benefits will last you. Ask info on post-employment packages. Look into COBRA, for example, although it is a bit pricey, or maybe, get into a spouse's plan. You may want to be direct with the employer and ask for them to keep you on the health plan, the company health plan, for some time, if that's possible. In other countries, like in the UK, for example, the healthcare, the health benefits are not contingent to employment and you're still covered. So you don't need to worry about private insurance unless you already had it and you want to maintain it. Outplacement assistance. A lot of the companies will offer you this service. They will assign what they call a career transition coach. To be honest, I had them before. They usually last about 6 months. They assign you to somebody who's a professional coach, and these companies are specialized on helping you through that transition, finding a new job, refurbishing your CV, etc. My experience has not been the best. I have not really found any value on those kind of schemes, and usually they cost a lot of money to the employers. So I would suggest negotiate for that amount that they are paying to that company, to maybe direct it to your pocket, and maybe use this amount for hiring your own career coach, which will make more sense because you can find somebody that you're really a good match to. Equipment. As you may not have your own PC or laptop, ask your employment if you could keep the equipment, as this is an essential tool in order for you to be able to find your new job. In most cases, used equipment may be recycled or donated, especially if it's a few years old. Investing in a new equipment is a significant cost to you, especially after a layoff, so you don't really want to have this kind of burden hovering over your head. So ask if your employer could support you on this. In some cases, if the laptop though is locked, or you're working for a company that has very high security, then you may be not authorized to keep it. But it doesn't hurt for you to try. Now, for those folks out there over 50, a layoff could have a significant impact, such as longer unemployment time frames, delaying the retirement process, dipping into the private pension early, or even be forced to retire early, which can mess up your initial financial planning. Make sure your employer is very well aware of those circumstances and all those reasons when you're negotiating the above. Let's move to number 2, unemployment. File for unemployment through your area state office or website as soon as possible. Ensure you're receiving any additional benefit that you're entitled to for housing and child support. Make sure that you review all requirements and speak to the right state agencies before applying. From country to country, things vary. For the UK, for example, you have additional options to consider, such as job seekers allowance or universal credit, and they can provide you support while job hunting. Number 3, create a budget. I can't stress that enough. Assess your inflows and outflows for the next 6 months to a year. Review all your income sources, severance, unemployment benefits, savings, investments, any additional income you may have. Make a list of all your monthly expenses. Identify the essentials versus the discretionary spending. Calculate how long your current situation can realistically sustain you. Make a list of your recurring expenses and see if you can negotiate better deals. Start with your debt. Bank loans, mortgages, high-rate credit cards. Communicate with your creditors quite early. Avoid debt unless it's absolutely essential and absolutely necessary. Instead, take a look at other areas of financial help, like borrow against your 401k at a low interest. And of course, do that with caution. Or, maybe reach out to friends and family and ask them for a loan. Especially if you're seeing something coming up down the road, then that should be a quick and easy way to get some additional cash. Essential shopping. Review your monthly essentials budget. Stop going to the store and make a weekly list for delivery to avoid overloading. If you go to the store, please do not go on an empty stomach. Trust me. Discretionary expenses. You need to assess those as well. You need to pause or fully cancel some of those subscriptions, like your TV subscription. Maybe maybe you don't need 4 channels. Pay extra for 4 channels, or your cable, or those additional sports channels that you have. Music subscriptions, memberships, museum memberships, you name it. One of the things I did when I went through this process is to cancel my wine club membership. And that was, trust me, that was quite significant for me at the time. But did I survive? Yes, I did. Did I go back and, I got this membership again after a few months? Of course I did. Dining out. Lower the frequency of eating out. It's a lot of expenses, and you need to be very, very cautious. If you can also avoid on a lot of takeaway and delivery at home, it's going to really save you a significant amount of money. If you don't know how to cook at home, just try simple recipes, use fresh ingredients, and you will see that in the long run, even in the short run, you will save a significant amount of money. Traveling. If you have any holidays planned, I would recommend that you postpone all those trips for indefinitely until you're in a better shape to be able to afford it. So one good tip is that you may want to use a budgeting app. There's quite a few out there that's going to help you kind of plan ahead and see where you're standing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis when it comes down to budgeting. Number 4. Now, everything I mentioned previously comes as phase 1 of your situation. Depending on everyone's individual circumstances, I will probably give it 1 to 3 months when you can do all the above points 1 to 3 that I mentioned. Going to the 4th month and forward, you may want to consider a couple additional steps. For example, consider tapping into your retirement savings, but do this very, very carefully and be very cautious. Avoid withdrawing from IRAs or 401ks unless it is absolutely critical. At 50 plus, you may qualify for age 55 rule, which is a 401k penalty-free withdrawal if you were let go and you are over 55. For example, in the UK, there's something else similar in other European countries as well, as far as I'm aware, where you can access your pension from the age of 55. You can access private pensions, which may help bridge a gap, but consider the longevity and tax implications before dipping in. Remember, 25% could be tax-free, but the rest is taxed as income. So please plan strategically. Request help. Reach out to credit card companies, mortgage providers and lenders, the one I mentioned earlier, your utility companies, you name it, everywhere where you pay a reoccurring bill on a monthly basis, and ask for any hardship programs they may have, any consolidation programs, even some settlement programs that could help you get out of debt faster. By doing so, you may be able to avoid penalties, late fees, or hits to your credit score. Be proactive. It's better to ask for help than miss a payment. You also may want to consider a possible car downgrade. Some companies, especially in the leasing companies, will offer you the ability to return your car early, paying a small fee. So consider that option as well. In some countries like the UK, for example, consider your property tax or council tax reductions or payment holidays. Depending on your income and circumstances, you may be eligible for both those kind of reductions. Some local councils in the UK, as far as I'm aware, they offer temporary relief or payment plans worth reaching out directly. Finally, I would say meet with a financial advisor, especially important at this stage of your career and your life. Talk to someone who can help you protect your nest egg. Even a one-time consultation can offer clarity and peace of mind. Now remember, some of those actions may have worked for me or some people I talk to. However, everyone's situation is different and you need to act after evaluating your own needs and circumstances. This is not, by any means, this is not a one-size-fits-all situation. So this is it, folks. If you found this video interesting, you may want to consider watching my video about the 10 things to do after a layoff. I will put the link below. Let's grow smarter, lead with empathy, live better, and probably laugh at some awkward analogies along the way. Let's build a community where people help and lift each other up during tough times. Until next time, be well and stay focused.